There comes a moment in life when you realize your presence was a gift to those who underestimated you. You gave your time, energy, and love freely, not because you had to, but because it is in your nature to uplift others. Yet, instead of cherishing what you brought into their lives, they took it for granted. They misunderstood your strength, overlooked your value, and underestimated your resilience. They believed you needed their approval, their support, or their validation to thrive. But they were wrong. What they failed to see was the depth of your worth, the quiet power of your calmness, the strength of your forgiveness, and the unstoppable force of your resilience. Each of these qualities set you apart, making you irreplaceable in ways they couldn't comprehend. But instead of honoring what they had, they gambled with your presence, assuming you'd always be there, only to lose you in the end. This journey isn't just about their misjudgment, it's about your growth. Each time they underestimated you, you rose higher. Each time they took you for granted, you found new strength. This is not a story of loss, but of transformation, a testament to the power of knowing your worth and reclaiming your light. Let's delve into this journey together and uncover the truths behind their mistakes. Each part of this story, your worth, your calmness, your independence, your irreplaceability, your resilience, and your forgiveness, paints a picture of the person you are: strong, confident, and unshakable. This is your story of rising above, of stepping into your power, and of proving that your value has always been yours to define. Part 1. Your worth was undervalued. In life, there are moments when you realize that those closest to you may not truly see your worth. It's a harsh revelation, but one that often comes with profound clarity and strength. People sometimes become so accustomed to your presence, your kindness, and your contributions that they begin to take them for granted. They fail to recognize the treasure you are, assuming that your support, care, and energy will always be there, as though they are entitled to it. This isn't because they are inherently unkind or malicious. It's simply human nature to overlook the extraordinary when it is consistently present. You were never just another person in their lives. You were unique, a rare diamond placed in their path, offering something irreplaceable: your wisdom, calmness, and ability to bring clarity to chaotic moments were gifts, yet they often went unnoticed. Instead of appreciating the value you brought, they treated you as though your presence was a given, a constant that required no effort on their part to maintain or nurture. What they failed to understand was that your presence in their lives was not an obligation but a choice, one you made because of your generous spirit and deep empathy. The unfortunate truth is that many people only begin to value what they have once it's gone. For them, the realization of your worth came not while you were with them, offering your light and energy, but after you had stepped away. Suddenly, the void left by your absence became glaringly obvious. The balance, the peace, the inspiration you brought to their lives was no longer there, and they were left scrambling, trying to fill a space that only you could occupy. It's easy to question yourself in these moments. You might wonder why they didn't see your value sooner, why they didn't appreciate you while they had the chance. But the truth is, their inability to see your worth says far more about them than it does about you. It reflects their lack of awareness, their failure to look beyond the surface and recognize the depth and richness of what you brought into their lives. You were not just a passive participant in their world. You were an anchor, a source of strength and stability, even when they didn't realize it. Your presence made their lives better in ways they often overlooked, whether it was through your ability to listen without judgment, your readiness to offer help without expecting anything in return, or your consistent support during difficult times. You were a vital part of their journey. Yet, they treated these qualities as though they were ordinary, failing to see how rare and precious they truly were. Now, as they look back, the weight of their misjudgment becomes clear. They begin to replay moments in their minds, moments where they could have shown more gratitude, expressed more appreciation, or simply acknowledged your importance. Regret starts to creep in as they realize that they let something extraordinary slip through their fingers. They might try to rationalize their actions, telling themselves that they didn't mean to take you for granted. But the truth is undeniable. They undervalued you, and now they must face the consequences of that mistake. For you, this realization can be bittersweet. On the one hand, It's validating to know that your worth is finally being acknowledged, even if it's too late for them to act on it. On the other hand, it can be painful to see how little they valued you when it mattered most. But instead of dwelling on their inability to see your worth, you can choose to focus on the lessons this experience has taught you. You've learned that your worth is not defined by how others perceive you. It doesn't diminish because someone fails to recognize it, nor does it grow because someone finally does. Your worth is inherent. It comes from within and is rooted in the unique qualities that make you who you are. This experience has reminded you to surround yourself with people who see your value from the start, who appreciate you not just for what you do but for who you are. It has also taught you the importance of setting boundaries. While your kindness and generosity are beautiful traits, they should never be given at the expense of your own well-being. You've realized that not everyone deserves unlimited access to your energy and that it's okay to step back when a relationship becomes one-sided or draining. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary for your growth and happiness. As you move forward, let this experience serve as a reminder of your strength and resilience. You have the ability to walk away from situations and people who fail to honor your worth. In doing so, you make space for those who will cherish and uplift you, who will recognize the treasure you are without needing to lose you first. Their failure to see your value is their loss, not yours. While they are left grappling with regret and longing, you are free to continue your journey, thriving and shining brighter than ever before. Your worth was never tied to their ability to recognize it. It has always been yours. And now, you are reclaiming it fully, stepping into a future where you are appreciated, valued, and celebrated for the incredible person you are. Let their misjudgment serve as a powerful reminder. You are a diamond, and diamonds do not lose their worth. They only shine brighter when placed in the right light. Part 2. Your calmness was misunderstood. There is a unique power in calmness, a quiet strength that few truly understand. It's a power that doesn't rely on loud declarations or visible displays of dominance, but instead manifests through composure, restraint, and grace. For you, calmness was not just a demeanor. It was a choice, a strategy, and an unshakable belief in the value of your peace. Yet, many people misinterpreted this strength. They saw your calmness as weakness, your silence as submission, and your decision to remain poised as an inability to confront challenges. They couldn't have been more wrong. Your calmness wasn't an absence of strength. It was the ultimate expression of it. In a world that thrives on chaos and conflict, where many rush to react without thought, you stood firm in your ability to assess situations with clarity and patience. You understood that not every battle is worth fighting, that sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. Your decision to remain composed was a reflection of your wisdom, not of apathy or indifference. But to those who didn't understand this depth, your calmness became an easy target for their misconceptions. They believed that your refusal to engage in petty disputes or escalate conflicts was a sign that you could be manipulated. They mistook your restraint for ignorance, assuming you were oblivious to their subtle provocations, veiled insults, or attempts to undermine you. In reality, you saw everything. You were fully aware of their tactics, but you chose not to stoop to their level. Why waste your energy on trivial matters when your focus was set on higher goals? Your calmness was not a sign of oblivion but of mastery, a quiet confidence in your ability to rise above. What they failed to grasp was that your calmness was a strength rooted in profound self-awareness and faith. You knew your worth and understood that reacting to every slight would only distract you from your purpose. Proverbs captures this beautifully. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. You embodied this wisdom, choosing to conserve your energy for the battles that truly mattered, while others were consumed by their need to assert dominance or prove a point. You stood firm in the knowledge that not every fight deserves your attention. Their underestimation of your strength became their greatest mistake. They thought they could push your limits, disrespect your boundaries, and test your patience without consequence. They saw your calmness as an open door for exploitation, not realizing that your silence was not weakness, it was power. They believed they held control, but in truth, you were the one in control all along. You chose when to engage, when to walk away, and when to let your actions speak louder than words. And when the time came for you to act, it was with quiet resolve and unshakable confidence. The turning point came when they went too far, crossing lines they believed you would tolerate indefinitely. But instead of responding with anger or dramatic confrontation, you responded with detachment. You removed your energy, your presence, and your support from their lives. This sudden void left them reeling, realizing too late that your calmness had been their anchor. The very composure they had dismissed as weakness was now the source of their regret. They saw that your silence had been a silent warning, a signal of the strength and awareness they had underestimated. Your ability to remain calm in the face of their provocations was a reflection of your faith and trust in something greater. Exodus reminds us, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." You lived this truth, knowing that you didn't need to retaliate or defend yourself against their schemes. Your calmness wasn't just a personal strength, it was a divine assurance that you were protected, guided, and upheld by a higher power. You knew that stepping away from their games would speak louder than any argument ever could. Now, as they sit with the consequences of their actions, they are left to grapple with the realization that they misjudged you entirely. They thought your calmness was a lack of awareness, but it was a deliberate choice. They believed they could manipulate you, but you were always a step ahead. Your decision to walk away wasn't a sign of defeat, it was a victory. By refusing to engage, you maintained your peace, your dignity, and your focus on what truly matters. For you, this experience has been a powerful reminder of the strength that lies in restraint. It has reaffirmed your belief that you don't need to fight every battle to prove your worth. Your calmness is a gift, a shield, and a testament to your ability to rise above. While others may have seen it as a vulnerability, you know that it is one of your greatest strengths, a reflection of your wisdom, your faith, and your unwavering commitment to your higher purpose. As you move forward, let their regrets serve as a reminder of the power of calmness. It is a strength that not everyone will understand, but those who do will recognize its value. Your calmness is not just a reflection of your character, it is a declaration of your confidence, your resilience, and your refusal to be drawn into the chaos of others. It is a quiet strength that speaks volumes, and it will continue to guide you as you navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Let this experience empower you to remain steadfast in your composure, knowing that true strength doesn't need to be loud or aggressive. It can be found in the stillness, in the quiet resolve of someone who knows their worth and trusts in their ability to overcome. Your calmness is a reflection of who you are, a strong, wise, and grounded individual who refuses to let the noise of the world disturb their peace. And that, more than anything, is a strength worth celebrating. Part 3. You never needed their validation. One of the greatest misconceptions people have is the belief that their validation is essential to someone else's sense of worth. They assume their approval, recognition, or praise can either build you up or tear you down. For them, their opinion holds weight, as though they are the arbiters of your value. But for you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Your sense of self-worth has never been tied to the validation of others. It has always been rooted in something far deeper, something unshakable, your own confidence, your faith, and your unwavering belief in your purpose. From the beginning, you understood a fundamental truth that many fail to grasp. Your worth does not come from others. It does not depend on their applause or acknowledgement. It is not something that ebbs and flows based on the whims of external opinions. Your worth is intrinsic, and it is anchored in who you are and the unique purpose you were created to fulfill. This understanding set you apart from others who might have sought approval as a way to validate their existence. For you, the need for external validation was never a driving force. Your confidence came from within. This self-assurance baffled those around you. They couldn't understand how you carried yourself with such quiet confidence, moving through life with an air of certainty that seemed almost otherworldly. They were used to people vying for their attention, seeking their approval, and bending over backward to earn their praise. But you didn't play that game. You weren't interested in their acknowledgement or their opinions, and that confused them. They couldn't fathom how someone could be so self-reliant, So unaffected by their attempts to manipulate or control, they tried to wield their validation as a tool of influence, assuming it would sway you. They thought their praise could motivate you, or their criticism could shake your foundation. When they withheld compliments, they expected you to chase their approval, to bend to their expectations in the hope of earning their recognition. But instead of reacting to their games, you simply walked away. Their attempts to control your sense of self fell flat because they didn't hold the power they thought they did. Your worth was never theirs to define. What they failed to realize was that your confidence was built on something eternal. It wasn't tied to fleeting opinions or shallow praise, but to the knowledge that you were created with intention and purpose. Psalm 139 verse 14 declares, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." This truth resonated deeply within you. You didn't need anyone else to tell you that you were valuable because you already knew. You understood that your worth was divinely given, not subject to the judgments or opinions of others. Their inability to influence you left them frustrated and confused. They wanted you to depend on their validation, to feel incomplete without their approval. They believed they were gatekeepers of your confidence, assuming that without their support, you would falter. But instead of seeking their recognition, you surprised them by thriving on your own terms. You showed them that their opinions were nothing more than background noise in your journey. Their praise, or lack thereof, couldn't elevate or diminish you because you had already built your foundation on something far stronger than their fleeting words. This independence unsettled them. It disrupted the dynamic they were used to, where they held the perceived power to uplift or tear down. Now, as they reflect on their actions, they are forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Their validation was never as important as they believed. They thought they could control your sense of self-worth, but they were mistaken. Their inability to see your value didn't diminish it, and their attempts to undermine your confidence only revealed their own insecurities. Their regret runs deep as they replay the moments when they withheld recognition, offered lukewarm support, or tried to make you question your capabilities. They wanted to take credit for your success, to claim they played a role in your growth or achievements. But the reality is clear. Your success was never dependent on their validation. Your light was never theirs to dim. The praise they withheld only served to highlight your independence and strength. You didn't need their permission to shine, and that realization now stings them more than anything. For you, this experience has been empowering. It has reaffirmed what you've always known, that your worth comes from within, not from external sources. You've learned to trust your instincts, to believe in yourself even when others fail to see your potential. Their inability to recognize your value has only strengthened your resolve, proving that you don't need their approval to thrive. Moving forward, let this be a reminder of the power of self-belief. You are not defined by the opinions of others or the validation they offer. Your worth is inherent, unshakable, and eternal. Those who fail to see it are not your burden to carry. Their inability to recognize your value is a reflection of their own shortcomings, not yours. As you continue to grow and achieve, you can do so with the confidence that your success is rooted in your own strength and faith. The people who tried to control you with their validation are now left to grapple with the reality of their misjudgment. They wanted to believe you needed them, but now they see that you were always capable of standing on your own. Your journey is a testament to the power of independence and the strength that comes from knowing your worth. Let their regrets serve as a lesson for them and for you. They've learned that their validation was never as powerful as they thought, and you've reaffirmed that your value doesn't depend on anyone but yourself. You've proven that true confidence comes from within, from the unshakable belief in your own abilities and the divine purpose you were created to fulfill. As you move forward, continue to walk with the assurance that you are enough. Your worth has always been yours to define, and no one else has the power to take that from you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that truth will carry you through every challenge, every triumph, and every moment of doubt. Keep shining, keep thriving, and keep proving that your success is rooted in something far greater than external validation. It is rooted in you. Part 4. They couldn't see your unique value. It's often said that familiarity breeds complacency, and nowhere is this more evident than in how people treat the ones who enrich their lives the most. For those around you, Your value seemed ordinary, even replaceable. They saw the gifts you brought, the wisdom, the stability, the calm, but they failed to recognize just how unique and irreplaceable those qualities were. In their minds, you were simply another piece of their world, a contributor whose absence could easily be filled. This miscalculation, however, revealed not your shortcomings but theirs. What they didn't understand was that your value wasn't just surface level or transactional. You didn't simply contribute to their lives, you transformed them. Your presence was a rare combination of insight, compassion, and authenticity. When they faced chaos, your calm brought order. When they struggled with uncertainty, your wisdom provided clarity. You didn't just support them in their challenges, you elevated them. But instead of cherishing this, they took it for granted, assuming they could find someone else who would provide the same level of impact. The truth is, people often fail to see the rarity of what they have until it's gone. They assume that the energy and presence you bring are common, that anyone could step into your role and replicate the contributions you've made. But this assumption is flawed. Your unique value isn't something that can be easily replaced or reproduced. It's the result of your life experiences, your character, and the divine purpose that shapes who you are. As Psalm reminds us, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Your uniqueness is not a coincidence. It is intentional, and it is profound. When you stepped away, the cracks in their world began to show. What they once considered stable and harmonious quickly unraveled in your absence. The clarity, balance, and peace you provided were not accidents or coincidences. They were the direct result of your presence. They may not have noticed these things when you were there, but now that you're gone, they feel the void acutely. They are left fumbling, trying to recreate the sense of stability and insight you brought into their lives, only to find that no one else can fill that space. Their arrogance blinded them to the truth. They believed that everyone was replaceable, that your contributions were not extraordinary. Like Esau trading his birthright for a bowl of stew, they undervalued something priceless until it was no longer theirs to hold. Now, as they reflect, the loss is glaringly obvious. The harmony they once enjoyed wasn't a product of their own doing. It was because of you. The wisdom that helped them navigate life's challenges didn't come from within them. It was your gift to them. And now, without you, they must confront the chaos that ensues when something irreplaceable is removed. They are likely scrambling now, searching for someone else who can replicate what you provided. Every new connection they make feels shallow in comparison. Every new relationship a pale imitation of the one they took for granted. But no matter how hard they search, they will never find another you. True value, the kind that transforms lives, comes from a unique combination of traits, experiences, and purpose, qualities that can't be copied or replaced. This realization is painful for them because it forces them to confront their own failure to recognize and honor your worth. They dismissed you as though you were common, only to discover too late that you were exceptional. The embarrassment they feel is not just about the loss. It's about the role they played in undervaluing you. They gambled with something priceless, believing they could always find another. But they were wrong. And now, they must live with the regret of knowing they treated a diamond like a pebble. For you, this experience is a powerful affirmation of your uniqueness and worth. It has shown you that your contributions are not interchangeable or easily replaced. You are not just valuable, you are irreplaceable. The energy, wisdom, and authenticity you bring into the lives of others are gifts that only you can offer. And those who fail to see this are not your burden to bear. This experience has also taught you to be more discerning about where and with whom you share your gifts. While your kindness and support are part of what make you extraordinary, they are also precious resources that deserve to be given to those who truly value and appreciate them. Not everyone deserves access to your light, and it's okay to protect your energy and set boundaries to ensure that your contributions are met with gratitude and respect. As you move forward, let this experience serve as a reminder of your inherent value. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone or seek validation from those who fail to see it. Your value is not diminished by someone's inability to recognize it, and your worth is not defined by their acknowledgement. It is rooted in who you are, in the unique combination of gifts, traits, and experiences that make you you. Their loss is your gain. By stepping away, you've made room for people who will cherish and celebrate your presence, who will recognize your uniqueness and honor it. You've also reclaimed your energy and focus, redirecting them toward relationships and opportunities that uplift and inspire you. Let their regrets serve as a lesson, not just for them, but for you as well. A reminder that your value is not dependent on others' ability to see it. You are not replaceable, and those who fail to see that will eventually realize the depth of their misjudgment, while they grapple with the consequences of their blindness. You are free to continue your journey, thriving and shining in the fullness of your unique purpose. Your value was never theirs to determine. It has always been yours to embody. And as you step into this truth, you can do so with confidence, knowing that the right people will recognize and celebrate the extraordinary person you are. Part 5. They underestimated your resilience. Resilience is a quality often misunderstood and underestimated. To many, it seems invisible until tested, hidden beneath the surface until life's challenges demand its presence. For you, resilience was not just a reaction to difficulty, it was an inherent strength, a force that defined how you navigated the obstacles in your path. But for those who didn't truly know you, it was a trait they failed to recognize or respect. They believed that if they created chaos or withdrew their support, you would falter. What they didn't realize was that your resilience was far deeper and more unshakable than they could ever imagine. They thought your success depended on them. In their arrogance, they believed their validation, resources, or influence were the cornerstones of your growth. Without their approval or assistance, they assumed you would crumble under the weight of your ambitions. They overestimated their role in your journey, seeing themselves as critical players in your story. What they didn't understand was that your strength has always come from within, a quiet, relentless determination fueled by faith, discipline, and experience. Your resilience didn't emerge from comfort or ease. It was forged in the fire of life's challenges. You faced trials far greater than anything they could have devised. And each time, you not only survived but thrived. You learned to turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Their attempts to sabotage or hinder you were no match for the foundation you had already built. As Isaiah reminds us, He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Your resilience was not merely personal, it was divine, a testament to the unshakable faith that carried you through every storm. When they tried to create chaos, hoping to destabilize you, they miscalculated. They underestimated your ability to adapt, to rise above, and to find solutions even in the most challenging circumstances. Instead of breaking, you stood firm. Instead of falling, you rose higher. Their efforts to create obstacles in your path only highlighted their lack of understanding of who you truly are. Every challenge they threw at you became fuel for your growth, refining your character and sharpening your resolve. Their attempts to undermine you didn't diminish your strength, they magnified it. James teaches us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." The very trials they intended to use against you became the catalysts for your transformation. You didn't just persevere, you flourished, using each difficulty as an opportunity to prove to yourself that your resilience was stronger than any external force. Now, as they watch you thrive, they are forced to confront the depth of their misjudgment. They once believed they were indispensable to your success, that without their guidance or support, you would be lost. But your accomplishments have shattered this illusion. Your resilience has proven that their influence was never the defining factor in your journey. What they thought would hinder you only served to illuminate your ability to stand tall. Even when the odds were stacked against you, their regret is palpable. They see now that their attempts to control or sabotage you were futile, that the very actions they hoped would hold you back only propelled you forward. Every step you've taken since then has been a testament to your strength and independence. While they were busy plotting, doubting, or withdrawing, you were quietly building a foundation for success that didn't rely on them. They thought they were central to your story, but now they see they were merely a footnote in a much greater narrative. For you, This experience is a reminder of your power. It has shown you that your strength doesn't come from external validation or support, but from your unwavering belief in yourself and your purpose. You've learned that no one else has the power to define your path or determine your success. Your resilience is a force that cannot be shaken, a reflection of the faith and determination that have carried you through every trial. Moving forward, you can take comfort in knowing that you don't need anyone's approval or assistance to thrive. While others may have underestimated you, you've proven that their doubts were never your limitations. Your story is one of triumph, of rising above every challenge and proving to yourself that you are capable of achieving greatness on your own terms. Let their misjudgment serve as a powerful reminder of the strength that lies within you. Their inability to see your resilience is not a reflection of your worth, but of their own short-sightedness. While they are left grappling with regret, you are free to continue your journey, growing stronger and more confident with each step. Your resilience is not just a testament to your character, it is a declaration of your independence, your faith, and your ability to overcome anything life throws your way. As you look back on their attempts to hinder you, take pride in how far you've come. You've turned their challenges into opportunities, their doubts into motivation, and their attempts to hold you back into stepping stones for your success. Your journey is a testament to the truth found in Genesis. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done. Their actions may have been meant to undermine you, but they have only served to strengthen and elevate you. Now, as you move forward, carry this truth with you. Your resilience is your superpower. It has been tested, proven, and refined through every trial, and it will continue to carry you through whatever lies ahead. You are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you rise above them. While they are left wondering how they could have underestimated you so profoundly, you are thriving, proving that your strength is unshakable, your purpose is divine, and your potential is limitless. Let their regret be a reminder of the power you possess, and let your continued success be a testament to the resilience that defines who you are. Part 6. They took your forgiveness for foolishness. Forgiveness is one of the most profound acts of strength a person can exhibit. It requires courage, wisdom, and grace. Yet, for those who fail to understand its depth, forgiveness is often misinterpreted as weakness or naivety. They assume that extending forgiveness means erasing boundaries, forgetting wrongs, or tolerating repeated harm. In their arrogance, they mistake an act of immense strength for something they can exploit. Unfortunately for them, they gravely misunderstood you. Your forgiveness was never a sign of foolishness. It was a testament to your wisdom and the strength of your character. When you forgave them for their actions, whether it was their lies, manipulation, or disrespect, they didn't see it as an opportunity to reflect and change. Instead, they saw it as a green light to continue their behavior. They believed they could push your boundaries without consequence, thinking that your forgiveness meant you would always tolerate their mistreatment. But they failed to grasp the truth. Your forgiveness was never about them. It was about you reclaiming your peace, freeing yourself from the weight of their wrongs, and choosing not to let bitterness take root in your heart. Forgiving them didn't mean you were unaware of their actions. You saw their games, their subtle attempts to undermine you, and their disregard for your feelings. You were fully aware of the harm they caused, but you chose to forgive, not because they deserved it, but because you understood the power of letting go. As Ephesians 4 verses 31 to 32 reminds us, get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. You embrace this truth, knowing that forgiveness is not about condoning their behavior, but about releasing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. But they misunderstood your grace. They thought your kindness was endless, that you would continue to forgive them no matter how many times they crossed the line. They didn't see the quiet strength it took to offer forgiveness while maintaining your dignity. In their arrogance, they assumed they could keep testing your patience, pushing your boundaries, and taking advantage of your goodwill. They failed to recognize that your forgiveness came with limits, unspoken but firm lines they should never have crossed. When they finally overstepped those boundaries, they were blindsided by your response. You didn't lash out in anger, or seek revenge. Instead, you did something far more powerful. You withdrew, quietly and decisively. You removed yourself from their reach. Your departure wasn't dramatic or confrontational. It was graceful and resolute. You chose to walk away, taking with you the light, energy, and forgiveness they had so thoroughly taken for granted. The absence of your presence left them reeling, forced to confront the weight of their actions and the consequences of their behavior. Now, they're left grappling with the reality of what they've lost. They assumed your forgiveness was a permanent privilege, something they could rely on indefinitely, but they were wrong. Forgiveness is not an invitation to continue harmful behavior. It is a gift of grace that requires respect and appreciation. When they squandered that gift, they lost access not just to your forgiveness but to you as a whole. And the loss of your presence is a consequence far more significant than they ever imagined. Their regret is profound. They look back on every moment when they could have acted differently, every opportunity they had to honor your forgiveness and make amends. Instead of cherishing the second chances you gave them, they squandered them, thinking they could always return to the well of your grace. But now they see that their actions have closed that door permanently. They are left to sit with the cold realization that your forgiveness was not weakness but strength, a strength they failed to appreciate until it was no longer available to them. For you, this experience has been a powerful reminder of your own resilience and clarity. It has reaffirmed that forgiveness is your choice, not an obligation. You have learned that while offering grace is noble, it does not require you to tolerate repeated harm. Setting boundaries is not a contradiction to forgiveness. It is an essential part of honoring yourself and the value you bring to the world. Walking away wasn't just an act of self-preservation. It was a declaration of your worth. By choosing to remove yourself from their cycle of harm, you demonstrated that your peace and dignity are non-negotiable. You showed that forgiveness does not mean accepting anything less than respect and mutual care. It means letting go of anger while holding on to your self-respect. As you move forward, let their regret be a reminder of the power of forgiveness when paired with boundaries. Your ability to forgive is not a weakness. It is a reflection of your strength, your faith, and your unwavering commitment to your own growth. While they are left to grapple with the consequences of their actions, you are free to continue your journey unburdened by their negativity. Forgiveness has empowered you to rise above their harm and focus on the future. You've chosen peace over bitterness, clarity over confusion, and strength over submission. Their failure to honor your grace is their loss, not yours. You've shown that forgiveness is a gift, one that reflects your character and not their actions. And when that gift is taken for granted, you are strong enough to move on. Now, as you thrive in the peace and freedom you've reclaimed, they are left to wonder what might have been. Their regret is a testament to the rarity of your grace and the strength of your resolve. While they sit with their loss, you are moving forward, unshaken and unapologetic, stepping into the fullness of your purpose with the confidence that forgiveness is your strength, not a vulnerability. Let this experience serve as a reminder of your power. Forgiveness is not about excusing harm or enabling mistreatment. It is about choosing your peace and refusing to let others dictate your emotional well-being. Your ability to forgive and move on is a reflection of your resilience and your commitment to living a life of integrity and faith. In the end, their misjudgment has only highlighted your strength. They thought your forgiveness made you easy to manipulate, but it was a boundary they should never have crossed. Now, they must live with the knowledge that their actions cost them something irreplaceable, the chance to be part of your life. And you are free, thriving, and stronger than ever, walking confidently into a future filled with the peace and joy that only comes from honoring your worth. Stepping into your power, your journey is a testament to your strength, your growth, and your unwavering commitment to honoring your worth. Through every misjudgment, every moment of being underestimated, and every act of being taken for granted, you chose to rise. You refused to let their inability to see your value define you. Instead, you turned their underestimations into fuel, their doubts into motivation, and their actions into lessons that propelled you forward. They may have fumbled you, but their loss became your gain. With every step you took away from their toxicity, you reclaimed your power. You demonstrated that your worth was never tied to their recognition. Your strength was never dependent on their support, and your forgiveness was never a weakness they could exploit. You've shown the world that your calmness, resilience, and independence are the pillars of a life lived with integrity and purpose. Now, as they sit in the shadow of regret, you walk boldly into your future, unshaken and unapologetic. You are stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. The experiences that once sought to diminish you have only elevated you, proving that nothing and no one can dim the light you carry. Let this be a reminder of who you are and what you've overcome. You are not defined by their inability to honor your worth. You are defined by your ability to rise above. Your journey is far from over, and the best is yet to come. Keep moving forward, keep trusting in your purpose, and keep embracing the strength and light that have always been within you. Their loss is undeniable, but your victory is even greater. You've stepped into your power, and now, nothing can hold you back.